so good. Oh. Hey, Instagram, it's me, T, from the Pattersons, taking the train to Tibet. Just landed a helicopter. Yes, I know you still got you. Well, it's another one. Yeah, I see you still got your linen shirt wrinkled. Ain't you gonna do something about that, brother? Yes, I am. I know what to do. I done checked the internet. All I got to do is get a hanger, put it on the hanger right, take one of the spray things, spray the thing, take a brush and just brush it, and the wrinkles will go away. But you know, we're in the trenches now. No, we're in India. Well, what can I tell you? Well, the trenches. Don't worry about that part. Look, so the trenches. Oh. Hey, we're in blue light. Shout out to Blue Light Brigade. This is a Grand Rising report. They got the one time. Blue Light Brigade. Oh, we got things to talk about now. Okay, look, everybody else. If you're not in the Blue Light Brigade, don't worry about it. If you don't know what the Blue Light Brigade is, well, I got the clothes on. I put a clothes. This is a big one. This one. Got the four things. The four usually have two or whatever. It's the four. Let me put it down on the thing, so I don't have to. You know, like that. Look. Oh, by the way, we put a clove under our tongue. Sometimes we wake up at like 12. It's like what time is it? It's almost 10 after 6 here in India, southern India. Anyway, the point is, because we're in blue light, Grand Rising Report, and so I put it under my tongue. And I'm not going to, don't worry, I don't swallow, I'm not going to choke. It didn't happen, you know. Put it under my tongue, and I go to sleep, right? Now, that does a couple of things. I can't do it for anybody else. I worked this out myself. First of all, it keeps my tongue says, hey, something there, we got to make sure it's secured. Don't go down the boy's throat. That's the first thing. But that also means, my mouth stays closed. Somehow my mouth stays closed. So I'm breathing through my nose, which is how you should sleep. You should be breathing through your nose, okay? Okay, great. Now let's get to the point. Blue Light Brigade. Oh, Blue Light Brigade is don't worry about them right now. Well, let me talk to them. Everybody else, you in the gallery, you know, you like, just watching what's going on. Okay, just you're welcome. You're just welcome to hang out, right? Blue Light Brigade. I noticed something, right? You know what's happening lately because the guy Putin, Vladimir Putin, you know, the head of Russia, whatever have you. He went and addressed his peoples where he appeared in his military uniform. Because remember, he's commander-in-chief of the, I don't know what they call it. Let's put it this way. Like Donald J. Trump, he's the president of the United States. He's the commander-in-chief of the U.S. military, okay? Vladimir Putin is the commander-in-chief of the, Russian military. Captain Ibrahim Traore is the commander-in-chief. I guess he just says he's the commander-in-chief of us. I'm talking about the folks in the diaspora. He doesn't know it yet, but he's actually the commander-in-chief, I guess. Yeah, he's commander-in-chief of the land of the upright people, Burkina Faso. So he had 3 different ones. Now here's the difference. The Donald J. Trump, the president of the United States, he doesn't wear military uniform at all. He's never been in the military, as far as I know. Maybe he did some sort of thing, I don't know. Anyway, so he doesn't have a military uniform to wear. Vladimir Putin, not only he served the military, but he's also, like George Bush, he was a spy. George W. I'm talking about, not W. Papa Bush, he was a spy. He served in the military, war. He has a distinguished whole bunch of stuff like. Well, he passed me. Okay, peace and blessings on his soul. Anyway, so he served in the military, so he could actually wear one. Even when he was president, he didn't wear a military uniform. He just wore, the diplomat's uniform, I guess. Vladimir Putin, right? He's a head of the thing, but his country's basically said we got to pull off some maneuvers here because they started something on us and we got to make sure that. So he puts on his military attire, his military uniform. That's interesting. Now Ibrahim Traore, what he does, he says, "Hey, we're in war. I'm in war right now. In fact, I ain't even relinquished my commission as captain. I'm not even. You can call me whatever, but I stay in the trenches. If I was some sort of general or something a bigger, higher rank, then I would be forced to be doing some administrative stuff, whatever. I guess he does that too. But my point is, he can still wear his uniform and hang out with the troops because he's just a lowly captain. That boy's smart, man. That's why he's my commander-in-chief. That's right. I call him Commander Ibrahim. That's right. He said, well, what is your? Yeah, because he commands the land of the upright people, and he has some sway, because he does the thing for all of Africa, right? But they're diaspora too. I'm part of the diaspora. I know I'm sitting in India, and I live in South Africa, but I'm from, see my American passport over there? I'm an American African. That's right. I'm an American, carry an American passport, and I have an African mentality. So I'm an American African. That's how I define myself. Hey, he said, what's your pronoun? American African? No, that's not your pronoun. What do you? What's your race? A human race? Well, in this country we have whatever. You gotta say what you gotta be something else. Okay, I'm an American African. You're an American? Yes, I'm an American African. Let me leave that alone. Okay. So the reason why I brought this uniform thing, let me tell you that. I have a long association with WBA. Actually, I'm Arts Director Emeritus. I gotta get there. I gotta make sure there's a new regime there, and I gotta make sure they know that I exist, that I'm doing my work as Arts Director Emeritus. They don't know I'm doing my work, but I am. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out when I get to the States in May. Okay. But here's the thing: when I was on the air, for a lot of different programs, stuff like that, head of the pump, whatever. But one time I was on the air. Now, if you ever had to listen to a sponsor station, when you open the phones, like we used to open the phone, we didn't have no call screeners. We're not like public radio or something like that. This is community radio. We don't have no call screeners. We can't hire them. Ain't got no money anyway. Ain't got no call screeners. You like somebody's rude, you just say, get out of here, like that. But somebody called up one time. I remember this. I don't remember. I know it was a dude. I remember. He said, "It's the uniforms. It's uniforms. Uniform." Then he hangs up. People do that all the time, and that just stuck with me. Uniforms, and so when you say, for instance, you served in the bush where you was then you get to be a diplomat. You put on you want to hang out with the other diplomats, so you put on the suit and tie of the diplomat. Maybe you get your suit from Civil Road, whatever, one of those places in London, or you get your material from Italy, and you go to Hong Kong and get a suit made, or wherever you go. Or if you were smart, you come to Africa, get some African fabric, come down to the Eastern Cape, come down to Gubebo, see my wife, and she'll make you a really good outfit with the material that you got. See, there's a lot of ways to do this right there. Anyway, that's not the point. So that's your uniform. So now here's what's happening. We got Commander Ibrahim. He said we fighting. I ain't got no, in fact, I don't even go out my country. If I go out my country, I'm going to bring my peoples, my guns. I'm having my uniform on, because I want everybody to know we're still doing this thing. Basically saying, I ain't no Zelensky, man. I ain't no president that was on TV and then I'm not cosplaying. Let's put it that way. I'm not costume playing. In other words, I'm gonna wear a military uniform and walk around like I'm whatever. Whatever. That was funny when the Donald called him out and said, "Look, man, we're in negotiations right now. You're negotiating with suit and ties. Where's your suit and tie?" And the boy is saying, "Ooh, I didn't think of that." Anyway, forget him. We're not talking about that. He's inconsequential. That Putin saying, "Yeah, that boy." Anyway, that's the point. That boy and his boys and whatever and everybody else, NATO and all the rest of the people, and whoever's trying to beat up on Russia. They can't beat up on Russia. I'm just telling you. I wouldn't. Somebody that was in the CIA, the KGB, and the head of the country, and mentored under the roof, and knows all of the people who stole the money or who became oligarchs in Russia. I wouldn't mess with that guy. I'm just saying. If you're foolish, I don't care what you got, CIAs or the DWs, that. Don't mess with Russia. That's what I'm saying. Let me stop because you think I'm a Russian bot, is what they say. Anyway, back to the point. So we have to. We don't have to have a uniform, but we have to have our mentality right. Okay. So right now, here's the thing. There's several things we have to address. Right. One, the political situation, folks. Blue Light Brigade. You got to be the. Okay, Blue Lab Brigade, you're like a core. Just to keep on talking about military. We're like the core group, a core group in the military. The military has different divisions and stuff like that. Like for instance, I was a medic. I was in the medical corps, right? I was a lab technician, right? Now I had certain things. Oh, I'm sorry, I gotta go. This is a great story. This is a great story. No, I gotta tell you this story. Okay, so I'm a lab technician, right? I'm the senior lab technician. Don't worry, there's an NCOI. There's a sergeant that's the head of the lab. Then I'm like the next guy, right? And at this particular point, I went to this. We're talking. I had been at the base for about a year and a half. So everybody knew who I was, right? And everybody knows. Right? Okay, great. And plus, I did a whole lot of other stuff. Right? I organized the lab. I organized the thing that we went and did communities. We did sickle cells screenings and lead poison screening all over the place. We put on and not just when I say we, I mean the base. Actually, it's the Black Airmen, because we had the thing called a Black Caucus. Anyway, don't worry about it. It's like a lot of black dudes, right? And we put on benefit shows to help the community. We basically did the work that the Panthers did. Plus we were medics, so we had the medical day. We were like the Black Panthers on McGuire Air Force Base between 1971, I guess you'd call it, 1971 when I got out in 1974, early 74. So for about a year and a half, 2 years almost, about 2 years, the tenets of the Black Panther Party with self-defense existed on McGuire Air Force Base. I'm just saying, and I know because I'm one of the progenitors of that situation, right? And that's another secret. I was a co-founder of the Black Caucus, right? I've always been the co-founder of something. Don't be the founder. Don't be the head. That's what I'm saying. When I was in high school, the Afro-American Club, right? Co-founder of Afro-American Club. You gotta be smart about this, right? Because if you the head, then they gonna come and get you. They gonna get you, right? But here, let me tell you something about it. Wait, hey, is that sunrise? Oh, I think it's here. Well, maybe it isn't. I'll get to that in a second. So, and nobody would mess with me on the base. You didn't mess with the medics, okay? You just didn't mess with the medics, right? There's a whole bunch of reasons you didn't mess with the medics, but you didn't mess with medics. And you especially didn't mess with me. I was protecting on so many things. But forget my company commander, he do fear. But like the vice base commander loved me, right? Why? Because they had started this group, maybe it was something came down from HUD or something like that. But the Dormitory Improvement Panel. They were trying to improve the life orders, whatever, of the airmen on the base of McGuire Air Force Base. So they had a dormitory. They called this thing that. And so on this panel, I kid you not, it's about 18 people. And on this panel, and the vice base commander, the vice base commander, he was head. They gave him the responsibility of this thing, so he's head of the thing. About 18 people. Do you realize that in that group, only one person, all the rest of the group, they were officers, or they were married, right? But they didn't live in the dormitory. The only one person that lived in the dormitory was Wah, right? Oh. And when we had our first meeting, I said, well, maybe what we should do, and I said, maybe we should take a survey, So I created a survey so I can survey, and took responsibility of surveying the people in the dormitory, right? Oh, of course, the vice president loved that. I guess he got some kudos for whatever it is. So he was my boy. No, I was his boy, I should say. Right? Okay. So I was protected on high, right? I was protected only because I was lab technician. But if you were stupid enough to really try to, whatever you tried to do, my girlfriend at the time was the dental technician. So you would not mess, it's just no way. I got all the medics on my side. I'm the one with the syringe, with the needle. My girlfriend goes into your mouth. The vice base commander protects me on high. What can anybody do? I can't tell you. I get into these situations. I'm telling you this not to brag. I'm just trying to explain to you that stuff happens, right? Oh, let me tell you another thing that happened. The wing commander, let's tell you how it was. The wing commander there was some order that came that was kind of weird. And they had to bring all of the wing commander from the MAC, the Military Airlift Command, the vice wing commander, whoever he was, bigger than the base. He had to come and answer questions or deliver these orders to the troops, right? So we was all in the assembly, hit in the shifts. So I go there, okay, fine, And luckily I didn't wear my whites, because medics had white uniforms, so I wore my fatigues, right? So I was sitting there. And so then he gives the whatever he's giving, and he has any questions. Now, I don't know, at the time, I guess I knew that, when people don't usually just right away raise their hand, it takes time. So I raised my hand right away. So he asked, da-da-da. And I asked it, said, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. It was an intelligent question, right? Okay, fine. But it was sort of like what's an intelligent question, right? Okay. So he keeps on, takes some more questions. And so I said, I got another question. So it was sort of like a lull. So I raised my hand again. He said, I guess he said it in response. Well, that guy asked an intelligent question. Let me ask him. I'll call him. So he called on me. And I said, but blah, 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 blah. Now, it got a little shady here. This way it got a little bit shady, right? I think it started to dawn on at least the people that say, hey, there's Sloan, man. We know this guy. This is not going to turn out well for somebody. So he sort of had to hem and haw, right? Then I think maybe it's the third. Let's make it like it's 4 because it's more dramatic. It's 4. So then something happened. So there's nobody put their hand up. I put my hand up again, and he asked it, and he said, so yes, and now I made it was like I dug it. It was the third question, and it was like a thing that really just skewed. Just to show you how ridiculous the order was. Because the vice base commander, he knew it was stupid. All the troops knew it was stupid. So, he was just there, and he had to, he hemmed and hawed. I don't think he answered. Okay. So then they said, okay, it's time to end. We have one more question. I put up my hand, right? Of course, he wasn't going to call on me. So another airman put up his hand. This is a white guy. Don't worry, but there's white and black, but it's mostly white people in this thing, right? White guy put his hand. And the guy says, I kid you not, this is hilarious. The guy said, I defer my question to him. And he pointed to me. And I right away I said, blah, blah, blah. But it wasn't a question. It was a statement based on saying, this is ridiculous. I was going to say it like that. And the whole place erupted. They laughed. I slid out of there as quickly as I could. It was hilarious. I had fun when I was in the Air Force. I don't know why I tell you this. I tell you this because of this. You got a Blue Light Brigade. We are look, I just finished. I got another consignment. I like this one. I really like this one. I like them all, but this one here. Now there's a word I use. Core. It's a consignment. It's a consignment to the core. It says to the core. CORE. Right. But at the end, I said for the ultimate liberation. Troops. The Ultimate Liberation Corps, like CORPS, corps, like you have your what do you call it? The press corps. This like a grouping. It's a military term, really, and so Blue Light Brigade, you're part of a corps, right? But we're in the corps. We have specific duties, and your specific duty that I'm saying is we got to stay on point. I know everybody says code. Forget code business. Well, yeah, you have your code. Stay on point. What's our point? Reparations. That's our one and only point. Well, how do we do it? We got to get into these meetings, these political season meetings, because they're coming up. The midterms are coming up, and you got to be there. You can say other things, but you got to ask. You got to do the reparations question. But here's the trick: you don't want to be known as the reparations person, right? And anybody can do it. You're white people, black people. You can ask for you can ask about reparations. Let's put it that way. Okay. Now check this out. Now we're having a food crisis, right? We need food, right? And I hear that a lot of places in the States, for instance, you can't have chickens. You can't have chickens. I had chickens. I'm not supposed to have chickens out here. I hear chicken. And when I was in Southern Africa, we grow chickens, chicken and eggs, whatever have you. Well, you can go to the thing that says, here the ordinance says that we can't do, well, we want chickens. So you have to make an issue of chickens. Of course, they'll be hemming and hawing about that. And then you slip into reparations. Don't worry about it. But now you're known. You brought us an interesting thing because we have to feed ourselves because then you go to the whole thing about how the industries are poisoning you and the D or who and how you do all that stuff like that. So that's how you know for it. This is a strategy, okay? But you need to start going to these local meetings, the school board meetings. You might have people. These local political meetings, you need to start attending them. Even if you don't say anything, just check out what's going on. You may be able to be like me and ask a few questions and point out the absurdity of everything. Okay? So that's your assignment. I thought I'd tell you that right now. Why? I know, it just came to me. But uniforms report. Oh yeah, when you go to these meetings, please dress appropriately. At least have a shirt with a collar on it. Don't just come in t-shirt, shirt with a collar on it like that. Because in that kind of settings, dress the way the people on the board are dressing. You know what I mean? Whatever the board is, if they have suit, if you don't want to wear a tie, you don't have to wear a tie. Wear a cowboy tie. You'd be like me. Put your Muti bag on your thing. They won't know what's going on. Anyway, the point is, reflect the group that you're trying to sway. Let's put it that way. You want to come in with your AK-47 slinged over your thing with your vest on or whatever have you. You don't want to do that. Okay. So that's it. Gotta go.